Open three is good.
Shot towards the goal. Oh,
Nice.
tough. Shooting is scored.
Welcome to Sports Jam for the week of October 10th. I'm John Jacobson.
I'm Jay Wilcox. Today on the show, plenty of prep highlights, plus we'll meet a talented volleyball standout from Hopkins in our Sports Jam Spotlight. And we'll look ahead to the soccer playoffs with the unbeaten Wayzata boys.
Let's start with football in the top 10 matchup in Class 6A. Totino-Grace is the #1 team and has been since a Week 1 win at Eden Prairie. Champlin Park had moved up to #6 in the rankings, and the Rebels looking to make it 5 straight wins when they met the Eagles. Opening kickoff of the game, Grace's Gayflor Flowo takes the ball. He does not hesitate. A senior speeds straight ahead, and he takes this one 94 yards for a touchdown. Totino-Grace leads 7-0, 14 seconds into the game. After the Rebels go 3 and out in their first series, the Eagles offense puts another score on the board. Brady Bertram with an 18-yard run. The extra point fails, and it's 13-0. Champlin Park answers with a solid drive. Ernest Warlow burrows in for a 1-yard touchdown to make it a 13-7 game after a quarter. Same score in the second quarter when Rebels quarterback Bennett Otto is hurried, and he throws an interception here. Charlie Waters with a long return of over 40 yards. He'll bring it down to the Champlin Park 30-yard line before he's tackled. And it sets up another Flomo touchdown, this time on a 4th down play from the 2. Flomo rushes for 3 scores, plus the kickoff return TD. It's 21-7 Eagles at halftime. Early third quarter, Totino's Kyle Halverson to a wide-open Joe Russell. 44-yard pass play. Totino-Grace goes on to win 42-21. The Eagles are now 6-0. They finished the regular season against Centennial and Coon Rapids.
Osseo enjoyed a homecoming weekend with alumni volleyball and football events, a Saturday breakfast and parade, and then a 1 o'clock kickoff Saturday afternoon before a big home crowd. And it doesn't take Osseo long to score against Centennial. Martellus Hughes, the quarterback, makes a perfect throw in stride to Karan Harmon. 33 yards for a touchdown. It's 7-0 Orioles. The Cougars counter with a couple of short touchdown runs in the first quarter. This one by Riley Treadle put Centennial ahead 14-7 after 1. Second quarter, and the Cougars look for more. They try the halfback option pass, but Tyler Seelock picks off the ball in the end zone, and he'll return this one all the way out to the Orioles' 31-yard line. And that turnover does lead to an Osseo score. Gregory Arell rolls out and throws to Harmon in the front corner of the end zone for a touchdown, tying the game at 14. That's the score at halftime of this one. Osseo takes a 17-14 lead in the third quarter, but Centennial takes the lead for good on Deontay Book's 24-yard touchdown run to put the Cougars up 21-17. They go on to win 35-23. The Orioles are now 1-5.
Like Osseo, a usually strong Wayzata team has struggled this fall. The Hopkins Royals hope to take advantage of that as they played host to the Trojans. Hopkins starts the scoring. Jaden Washington with a nice gap to run through, and he takes advantage, turning on the Jets to pull away. And it's a 62-yard run as the Royals grab a 7-0 lead. Wayzata responds late in the first quarter. Gavin Baumgartner hits Brandon Bluford, who breaks a couple of tackles and gets to the end zone for a 35-yard scoring play to make it 7-7. Less than a minute later, pass will bounce off the receiver right to Wayzata's Luke Cranny, and he's headed back the other way on the interception. Cranny getting a block late in the return. He'll give Wayzata a 14-7 lead. The Trojans defense comes up with another turnover. Jacob Benega picks off the pass, enabling Wayzata to hold that 14-7 lead into the halftime break. In the third quarter, Hopkins gets the equalizer. Morgan Holmes goes deep down the sideline to Blake Lofton for the long touchdown. It's 14-all after 3 quarters. And Hopkins takes the lead back with a defensive score. A hard hit forces a Wayzata fumble. Matthias Harris scoops up the loose ball and takes off. He scores for a 20-14 Royals lead, but they miss the point after. And that proves to be a big miss. Wayzata's Alec Underhill scores from 2 yards out. The Trojans convert on their extra point, and they pull out a thriller, 21-20. Jay, also an impressive win on the road for Maple Grove. They throttled Minnetonka 45-14. Crimson definitely gaining momentum.
Yeah, that's a big margin and bigger than I maybe would have expected. A great win for them. Cooper also staying perfect as they pound De La Salle 55-7. So the Hawks definitely having a great season so far.
No doubt.
Well, Brooklyn Center was looking to get back to the 500 mark in Week 6 when the Centaurs traveled to St. Anthony to take on the winless Huskies. Fourth quarter, Alden Sultan hits the hole for the Huskies and powers his way into the end zone, gives St. Anthony a 23-8 lead. BC cuts into that lead on a 19-yard touchdown run by Larry Darby, but the Centaurs don't get the ball again and they lose 23-14. The Centaurs host International Falls for homecoming Friday afternoon.
West Lutheran taking on Houston at Brooklyn Center. First quarter, Houston's Harry Schliglow powers in from 5 yards out as the Hurricanes build a 24-0 lead. The Warriors get on the board late in the first quarter. 3-yard touchdown run by Griffin Ewing, but it's mostly Houston in this game, and they have no problem beating West Lutheran 50-8. Hurricanes is the final.
In girls tennis, Wayzata advanced to the Section 5AA championship. Wayzata meeting Anoka in the semifinals at #1 doubles. Grace Jacobson with a good cross-court return, and her partner Sydney Stern's volley is too hot to handle. Stern and Jacobson rolled to a win over Alyssa Wicks and Brooke Holloway of Anoka. Wayzata receiving serve in the #2 doubles match. Sylvia Ravor with the return and Isabella Bingner with good hands at the net as they beat Anna Holden and Hayden Andrea. Sam Stevenson serves for Wayzata in the first singles match against Anoka's Morgan House. After they trade shots, Stevenson delivers a forehand winner to the corner as she takes a 6-0, 6-0 win for the Trojans. At #2 singles, Ava Marco in the far court for Wayzata against Michaela Weisher. Marco comes in with a volley to the corner, then takes the point with the touch volley. Wayzata sweeps Anoka. They're facing Delano for the section title. Watch for highlights of that on 12 News.
In Section 6AA, Hopkins is the #3 seed, and the Royals moved into the semifinals. They hosted 6-seeded Apple Valley in the quarterfinals. #1 singles, Hopkins sophomore Maddie Sook, good deep serve. She'll follow up with a nice forehand at the net, returned long. Sook having a good year. She goes on to win her match. Sydney Mintalar receiving serve at third singles for Hopkins. Will get a solid return for a point, and it's another team point for Hopkins. The second singles play, Rachel Kelly in the far court for Hopkins. Couple good volleys on this point. Kelly will hit a passing backhand shot for a winner. Hopkins wins 6-1. They'll face Eastview in the section semifinals Tuesday morning. Edina plays Benilde St. Margaret's in the other semi. Still to come on Sports Jam.
Highlights from the final week of the regular season in soccer and a look ahead to the section playoffs, plus volleyball highlights and more.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. It's playoff time in prep soccer.
And teams look to close out the regular season strong. The Maple Grove boys host the defending state champ Anoka. First half, Anoka's Blake Doya fights his way into the front of the net. Donnie Guimo pops in the rebound for a 1-0 Tornadoes lead. With less than 30 seconds left in the first half, Maple Grove's Ryan DuBois gets control of the corner kick, and he'll bury a low shot to even the score at 1 apiece. It's still 1-1 in the second half when DuBois scores a great goal. He saves the ball from going over the end line, then dribbles through the Anoka defense and beats the keeper to put the Crimson on top. The Tornadoes get a corner kick with less than 10 seconds to play. It's a mad scramble in front of the net, but Anoka can't put it away. Maple Grove wins 2-1. That brings us to playoff time in soccer, and here's a look at where the local teams will line up. Defending section champ Park Center is the top seed for the Section 5AA boys tournament, followed by Champlin Park and Prairie Seeds. Then it's Irondale, Roseville, Centennial, Spring Lake Park, Mounds View, and Osseo. Osseo is at Mounds View in a play-in game Thursday at 5 o'clock. Then it's quarterfinals on Saturday with the winner of that game facing Park Center. Prairie Seeds host Centennial. Champlin Park is at home against Spring Lake Park. The semis are next Tuesday with the championship Thursday the 20th. Unbeaten Wayzata is the #1 seed in Section 6AA boys ahead of Washburn and Hopkins. Then it's South, Southwest, St. Louis Park, Cooper, and Armstrong. Armstrong is at Wayzata in the quarterfinals Thursday. Hopkins hosts St. Louis Park, and Cooper is at Washburn.
In the Section 5 AA girls tournament, Maple Grove is the second seed behind Centennial. Champlin Park is third, followed by Coon Rapids, Spring Lake Park, Park Center, Osseo, and Irondale. Unlike the 5 AA boys with 8 teams, there's no first-round game needed in the girls section. Quarterfinals are Thursday. Park Center is at Champlin Park and Osseo at Maple Grove. The semifinals are next Tuesday and the championship Thursday, October 20th. Wayzata is the #1 seed for the Section 6 AA girls tournament. Washburn is second, followed by Hopkins, Cretin-Derham Hall, Armstrong, St. Louis Park, Southwest, and South. In quarterfinal games Thursday, Wayzata hosts South. Armstrong is at Cretin-Derham Hall, and Hopkins hosts St. Louis Park. The semifinals are Saturday, and the championship next Tuesday. And Jay, also outside of those main sections, Totino-Grace and Benil, the top 2 seeds in Section 5A girls. Heritage, the Maranatha West Lutheran team, Cooper, Brack, Brooklyn Center, and Prairie Seeds, also all in that section too.
That's right, and the Maple Grove boys are in Section 8 AA. They are the 3rd seed. They host St. Michael Albertville Thursday. Totino-Grace and Brack are the top 2 seeds in Section 5A. Well, it's been a great season so far for the Hopkins volleyball team. The Lake Conference leaders look to score another league win as they hosted Edina. We pick it up in set 2. Tara Lee with the back set to Jane Nelson for the Hopkins kill. And then on set point, Greta Werner hammers it down for a 25-14 Royals win, and they go up 2 sets to none. Set 3, Hopkins freshman Shadir Tutt gets up for a big block and a Royals point. Then on match point, Anna Erickson delivers the decisive kill as Hopkins gets the sweep over Edina. We'll meet the Royals' Jasmyn Martin later in our Sports Jam Spotlight. Saturday at the St. Michael Albertville tournament, Hopkins defeats Champlin Park 25-23 and 25-23 in a great championship match. In the 3rd place match, Wayzata downs Shakopee 25-17, 31-29.
The Maple Grove and Totino-Grace volleyball teams are both looking to build some momentum before section play later this month. These 2 Northwest Suburban Conference teams squaring off Thursday night at Grace. First set, the Crimson open a lead. Maple Grove, and it's set the ball outside to Paige Hinsey, who delivers the kill off the attempted block there. Maple Grove leads 20-13 on the way to a 25-16 win. Second set, Totino-Grace's Lizzie Holscher serving. Eagles' Isabel Summers getting up to block the Crimson at the net. Grace leads 21-7. They win 25-8. Third set much closer, but the Eagles pull away late. Good pass by Megan Mullen, and the set and Maddie Schaefer to Summers with the big off the net attack and kill. Grace wins 25-22, and they go up 2 sets to 1. And the Eagles win it in 4. They'll get the ball to Eliza Dolly in the middle for a kill. Totino-Grace breaking a 3-match losing streak on the way to a 4-set win over Maple Grove.
We're about a month away from section time in girls swimming and diving. Armstrong hosting Anoka in a dual meet. Armstrong's team of Julia Leinbau, Molly Zook, Grace Wolschlager, and anchor Sierra Smith race to the win in the 200 medley relay. In the 200 freestyle, it's a pretty good race. Armstrong's Zoe Bresnahan holds off Anoka's Reese Dayan to win. Bresnahan's time is 2:03.63. To the 200 IM, and Armstrong's Wolschlager cruises to the win in a time of 2:18.19. And second place also goes to the Falcons as Zook finishes in 2:22.51. In the 50 freestyles, Samantha Sherbet of Armstrong races to the victory. The Falcons beat Anoka 93-82.
6 local girls swimming and diving teams who competed in the True Team section on Saturday in Section 5 AA, and Wayzata wins that section with 1,649 team points. Armstrong is second with Champlin Park third. Osseo finished 5th, Park Center 7th, and Cooper 8th. Wayzata and wildcard team Armstrong both advanced to the state meet. Maple Grove finished second in Section 8 AA. Hopkins was third in Section 6 AA, while Breck won its section in Class A, and they will swim at state.
The state True Team meet is at the U of M Aquatic Center, Class A at 1 o'clock and Class AA at 6 o'clock Saturday.
Next up on Channel 12 Sports Jam, we'll meet a volleyball standout who's leading her team to new heights this fall. The class of 2017 is regarded as perhaps Minnesota's best ever for prep volleyball talent. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, we meet a Hopkins High School senior from Brooklyn Park who is an elite level talent in her sport.
At 6'3" tall, Jasmyn Martin is an intimidating player to face on the other side of a volleyball net. A four-year varsity player for Hopkins, she is a big reason the Royals are ranked 5th in the state in Class 3A. And she's a much improved player from a year ago.
You know, I think she's just more consistent. I think she plays at a high level, but I think she plays at a high level for longer periods of time. And she's always had the physical tools to work with, but now it's just a matter of she's had the reps and she just plays, I think, a little bit more consistently.
Jasmyn missed most of her junior season with a strained left quad muscle. Staying healthy all of this year makes a big difference in her game.
It helps so much. It was obviously not fun sitting out. I had to sit out the majority of the season and only got to play a few games before section started. So I think being able to play with the team and getting on the court and just doing my thing helps a lot going into the sections.
Off-season work in club volleyball helped bring Jasmyn's game to a new level. She played for the Minnesota Select 18-1s, a team that included Champlin Park, Sydney Hilly, and Osseo's Tina Bowe, and won USA Nationals.
There are so many good athletes on that team. Everyone was, I think, Division I or Division II, and that's amazing that everyone on my team is able to go to college for free for a sport they love. It was really cool getting to compete every day and practice against such good girls, and I think that's part of the reason I've grown so much from this year to, or last year to this year.
Jazz was an outstanding basketball player too. She played with her sister Jade at Bloomington Kennedy when Jazz was in 8th grade and Jade was a senior. Ironically, the Eagles lost to Hopkins in the state Class 4A final.
That was probably one of the best years of my life. We are like soulmates. So it was really cool being able to play with her that season and getting to go so far to state that year. It was really special.
Jasmyn came to Hopkins from Kennedy before her freshman year, and after playing one season of basketball for the Royals, she gave up the sport to concentrate on volleyball.
Yeah, that was probably the toughest decision I've ever made in my life so far. Obviously, my family is more of a basketball family. My parents played growing up and collegiately, and my sister plays in college too, so that was a really hard decision, especially being that I started volleyball so much later after basketball. It really came down to a gut feeling and in my heart of what I had more fun at and what I thought I couldn't go without if I stopped playing the other. So
next year, Jasmyn will study business and play collegiate volleyball at the University of Minnesota, where she'll join current Gophers sophomore and former Hopkins teammate Samantha Seliger-Swenson.
I love watching Sam. I always admired watching her even before I was at Hopkins. She's always been such a great player, and it's cool seeing how much she's grown since then and how successful she is.
They had a great time playing together here at Hopkins for 2 years, and Sam's very excited to get Jazz on campus as a full-time student athlete. You know, they still see each other quite a bit because Jazz is down there every now and then with the matches, but they're excited to play together again. It'll be really fun.
For now, the focus is on Hopkins volleyball and the potential for a team that seems to get better week to week as the Royals look to make another run to the state tournament.
This year there's just something in there. I think our work ethic is a lot harder. We're a lot more focused. We have been to the state tournament now, so we know kind of what it is going into it. So I think if we make it again, we'll do better this year and make it far.
12-2.
And as you saw earlier, Hopkins beat second-ranked Champlin Park in the final of the STMA tournament. The Royals enter play this week with a 21-1 record. Jay talks boys soccer with the Wayzata Trojans when we return.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. There's definitely a chill in the air, so it must be playoff time in soccer, and we are joined by the Lake Conference champion Wayzata Trojans, a couple of their players, and also head coach Dominic Duenas. Starting with the defender Tyler Stevens, it's been a pretty special year for your team. You know, how much fun has this been so far as you head into playoff time now?
I mean, every day we get to come to practice after school and just see some of our best friends that we spend almost every day with, and it's nothing better than winning games with them.
What's been kind of the key for your team, would you say? What's been working so well to keep unbeaten as long as you did and everything?
I'd say we have some pretty consistent players that step up and do big things when not everyone's contributing to the team.
As you head into playoff time now, you know, what are important things that have to happen for the Trojans to advance on?
I think one big thing for us is we got to stay positive, even if we get down a goal or anything like that, because if we get negative, then it just kind of, one person gets negative, then it affects our whole team and brings us down.
Tyler, thanks for joining us. Good luck in the playoffs here. And Colin Kubinski, been a steady goalkeeper for this team. You know, you guys have kept teams to a very low goal total against. You know, how much fun has it been to be part of this strong defense?
I mean, it's been unbelievable. I've been waiting for this for 2 years behind Troy, and finally got my chance this year, and I think I've been kind of living up to it.
Has this felt like a special year for your team? You know, obviously this program year in and year out is pretty good, but has this one, you know, been a really top level season for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, like going undefeated so far in the season, I mean, that's something special. It's not something you can do very often. And, you know, we have this theme this year where we're all family. I mean, one of our captains brought it up, and we've really been taking that to heart this year.
A little bit of an added incentive for all the boys and girls soccer teams this year in that the finals will be at the brand new U.S. Bank Stadium. Is that something that's in the back of your mind as you guys get ready for playoffs?
I mean, that's certainly in the back of everyone's mind, but we still would want to make it to state either way. This is just a little added incentive, so.
All right, Colin, thanks for joining us, and have fun in the playoffs.
Thank you.
And Coach Dominic Duenas, I know you don't want to get too far ahead of anything because anything can happen in the playoffs, but has it been a fun year with these guys?
It's been a really nice year. It's a great group of players. Senior leadership has been fantastic. We're really blessed to have the seniors this year, so they've really helped us out along the way.
Did you see this coming when you guys gathered in August, and did you expect it to be this strong of a year?
Every year is kind of like a puzzle, and we just try to put the pieces together, and it just fit early on in August. We didn't know it would be this good, but we liked what we saw during tryout week, and we're like, players can play here and there, and they just fit the system really well. So maybe not this good, but we thought it would be special.
Your guys, of course, last year coming into the playoffs were the #1 seed, but then Washburn ended up getting you. Is that something that you'll remind them about, just to know that, you know what, the seeding isn't really, it's just what happens on the field at any given night?
Yeah, it's at any given night. The seeding is more for the parents. The rankings are more for the parents. We're just expected to do what we've been doing all year, and that's defend well and create chances, and when we create those chances, finish them.
Great year for you guys, Dominic. Congratulations, and have fun in the postseason.
Thank you very much.
Dominic Duenas, the head coach of the Wayzata boys soccer team, as they get set for the Section 6 AA tournament. It starts on Thursday with quarterfinals and then semis on Saturday. We'll be back to wrap up Sports Jam, but first it's a look at our plays of the week.
Return up the middle here. Bronson jumped over a would-be tackler, and Deontay Bronson is going to bring this back for a touchdown.
Don't miss the 25th annual New Hope Community Prayer Breakfast on Friday, October 28th at Cooper High School. Find out more through the In the Community tab at 12.tv.
Local Vote 2016 focuses on the candidates that make key decisions affecting your life close to home. As you decide how to vote for people who will represent you on your city council, on school boards, and in the state legislature, hear from the candidates themselves first, whether it's a candidate profile on 12 News, a local political forum, or election night coverage. Find it all on Channel 12.
Our game of the week is a Northwest Suburban Conference volleyball matchup. Maple Grove and Armstrong. Watch it live Thursday night on Channel 12 and our HD channel 799. That'll do it for this week's show.
See you next time on Sports Jam.